The sky above Leora 7 was dark, filled with smoke and sparks. The colony's towers, once shining with clean metal and glass, were broken and burning. Alien citizens ran through the streets, shouting in fear. Maravin, the governor of the colony, stood on the observation platform of the main tower. His hands shook as he watched the raider ships sweep down from the sky. They moved fast, firing strange weapons that tore through walls and vehicles. Maravin knew that his colony could not survive this attack for long. Their defense systems had failed within minutes. The raiders were not like any enemy they had faced before. They had power, speed, and weapons designed to kill quickly. The alien soldiers tried to fight, but most were destroyed or forced to retreat. The remaining civilians ran toward emergency shelters, but even those were not safe. Maravin felt a heavy weight in his chest. He had done everything he could, but it was not enough. He turned to his assistant, a young alien named Sival. "We must send the distress call," he said quietly. "We have no other choice." Sival nodded, her large eyes full of worry. "Will anyone hear us?" she asked. "Who would come?" Maravin shook his head. "I do not know. We have sent calls to neighboring empires. They all fear the raiders. They will not risk their fleets for us." Sival swallowed hard and began preparing the communication. She typed in the coordinates of the colony, the details of the attack, and the description of the raiders. The message would go to every nearby empire, asking for help. Then they waited. The hours passed slowly. Explosions continued in the distance, and the screams of civilians echoed through the colony. Maravin checked the communication console again and again, hoping for a reply. Nothing came. No messages. No fleets. Only silence. Maravin felt hopeless. He looked over the walls of the tower at the streets below. The raiders were moving closer, destroying everything in their path. "We are alone," he whispered to himself. Then a small signal appeared on the colony sensors. It was faint, but it was there. Maravin's heart raced. "Sival," he said. "Look at this." Sival leaned over the console and examined the signal. "It is a human ship," she said slowly. "From Earth. Aris. Thanks for watching." Inni crossed. Maravin's eyes widened. Humans were known throughout the galaxy as Deathworlders. They were feared, even by strong empires. Their home planet had been harsh and dangerous, and humans had survived when others might have died. They were strong, stubborn, and unpredictable. Many civilizations avoided contact with them. Maravin could not believe it. The humans had come, and they had come when no one else would. The human ship landed near the colony in a clearing. Its engines kicked up dust and debris, but it was precise and controlled. 4 humans stepped out. The first was a man with short brown hair and strong features. He wore a simple uniform, but his presence felt commanding. "I am Captain Ethan Brooks," he said. "We received your distress call. Where do you need us most?" A woman with dark hair and bright eyes stepped forward. "I am Medic Olivia Ward," she said softly. "I will help the wounded." A young man with a quick smile and a tool belt full of gadgets nodded. "Kyle Mason, engineer," he said. "Let me see what you have." The last was a woman with a calm but firm voice. "Laura Price, pilot," she said. "I will fly us wherever we need to go." Maravin felt nervous. The humans were here, but they were different. Some of the colony's citizens whispered in fear. They had heard stories of humans tearing through armies and surviving dangers no one else could. Yet they were not here to destroy. They were here to help. Maravin stepped forward, his voice shaking. "We are grateful that you came. The raiders have destroyed much of our colony. Many are wounded. We do not know how to fight them. Please, help us." Ethan nodded. "We will help. Show us where the wounded are. We will fight the raiders. You do not have to face them alone." The humans moved quickly. Olivia went from building to building, tending to those injured by the weapons. She worked tirelessly, never stopping, even as explosions rang out nearby. Kyle examined damaged walls and vehicles, using scraps and tools to make traps and barriers. Laura flew a small scout ship to check for incoming raider forces, returning with information on their numbers and movements. Saval watched the humans in amazement. She had heard stories about Earth's Deathworlders, but seeing them in action was different. They did not seem afraid of the destruction, the weapons, or the raiders. They did not hesitate. They simply acted, moving through chaos as if it were normal. Maravin could not help but feel a spark of hope. Perhaps they could survive this after all. He turned to Saval. "We must trust them," he said. "We have no other choice." The night fell over the colony. But the raiders did not stop. More ships appeared on the horizon, their weapons glowing red in the dark. The humans prepared for battle. Ethan gathered the colony's remaining soldiers. "We will hold the line," he said. "Stay close, follow instructions, and we will get through this." Saval joined the group, her heart racing. She had never been in a real battle, but she felt strange confidence being near the humans. They seemed fearless, almost untouchable. The raiders landed, and the battle began. The humans moved with precision and skill. Kyle used debris to make barriers that slowed the enemy. Laura directed the human and alien forces, using the terrain to their advantage. Olivia ran through the battlefield, helping the injured, refusing to stop even when the fighting became dangerous. Ethan fought with strategy and courage, protecting the colony and leading counterattacks. The aliens watched in awe. Their own soldiers had fled in fear, but the humans did not. They were strong, clever, and relentless. The raiders were surprised. They had expected easy targets, but these humans fought back with ferocity no one had seen before. Hours passed. The humans and the remaining alien soldiers pushed the raiders back. Explosions rocked the city, but slowly the tide turned. The raiders retreated to their ships, confused and shaken. The humans did not chase them. They stayed to protect the colony, making sure no one was left behind. When the dust settled, the colony was damaged, but alive. Marvin walked among the people, seeing the humans helping wherever they could. He turned to Ethan. "I cannot thank you enough," he said. "Your people. You came when no one else would. You saved us." Ethan shook his head. "We came because you called for help. No one should be left alone against this. That is what we do." Saval smiled faintly. She had learned something new about humans today. They were not only strong, they cared. They fought for others, not for themselves. She felt a strange admiration, and perhaps a little fear, but mostly hope. Maravin looked out at the horizon. The raiders were gone, but the danger was not over. He knew more forces might come, stronger and bigger. But now, he thought, they had a chance. The humans had arrived, and when Earth's Deathworlders came, no enemy could easily stand in their way. Night passed over Leora 7, filled with quiet tension. Fires still burned, but the humans continued their work, helping the colony rebuild what they could. Maravin realized that this was only the beginning. These humans, with their courage and strength, would change the fate of the colony. As the first light of morning touched the broken city, the humans gathered for a brief rest. Ethan looked at the horizon. "This is not over," he said. "We will need to be ready for whatever comes next." Maravin nodded, feeling for the first time that the future might be bright. "Then we will stand together," he said. "With you, we will survive." Saval stepped beside him, her eyes following the humans as they prepared for the next challenge. She whispered softly, "They are strange, but they are ours now." The colony, scarred and battered, was alive. And for the first time in many long hours, the people of Leora 7 felt hope. The humans had arrived, and they were not afraid. The morning air was cold and sharp on Leora 7. Smoke still rose from the ruined parts of the colony, and the ground was littered with broken metal and debris. Marivan walked among the people, checking on the wounded and trying to calm their fears. The humans were already busy. Ethan led small groups of aliens to clear dangerous areas. Laura flew her scout ship low over the streets, searching for any signs of the raiders. Olivia moved quickly from injured to injured, doing her best to keep everyone alive. Kyle inspected the damaged colony walls, already planning ways to strengthen them. Sival stayed close to the humans. She had watched them fight the raiders the day before, and now she watched how they worked. She was curious about how humans could stay calm and focused in such chaos. They did not seem afraid of the destruction or the threat of death. Even when a wall collapsed nearby, Kyle lifted a heavy piece of debris as if it were nothing, clearing a path for frightened children. Ethan called Marivan to the edge of the colony, near one of the ruined watchtowers. "Governor," he said, "we need to find where the raiders came from. Their attack was too organized to be random. They are hiding somewhere close, waiting to strike again." Marvin hesitated. "The raiders' base, it may be far and dangerous. I do not know if anyone can survive going there." Ethan shook his head. "We have to. If we wait, they will attack again. We need to know their strength and stop them before more civilians die." Sival stepped forward. "I can go with you," she said. "I know the terrain. I can help you avoid traps in dangerous areas." Ethan looked at her. "Are you sure, Sival? It will be dangerous." She nodded. "I have to try. If your people can fight like this, I want to learn from you, and I want to help my home." Kyle packed his tools carefully, checking explosives, wires, and small devices he had made for clearing obstacles. Laura prepared the shuttle, ensuring it was fast and ready for sudden attacks. Olivia gathered first aid supplies, bandages, and medications, knowing the trip could bring injuries. Ethan checked weapons and explained the plan to the group. They would move carefully, using speed and surprise to reach the raider base and gather information. The humans and Sival set out at mid-morning. The air was dry, and the terrain was rocky. The hills around Leora 7 were sharp and jagged, full of hidden caves and narrow paths. The raiders could be anywhere. Sival led the way, pointing out unstable ground, hidden pits, and dangerous ridges. As they walked, Sival asked Ethan questions. "How do humans survive when the world is so harsh?" she asked. Ethan looked at her, his face serious. "We have to. Our planet is hard. We fight. We work, and we adapt. That is how we live. That is why we can help you. We never give up." Sival thought about this. Humans were strange, she realized. They smiled, laughed, and helped others, but they also faced danger without hesitation. She felt admiration growing in her chest, mixed with a little fear. Hours passed. They moved cautiously, avoiding open areas where raiders might see them. Kyle checked his tools frequently, making sure he could set traps or repair machinery if needed. Laura flew overhead in the shuttle, watching for enemy ships. From above, the landscape looked like a maze of cliffs and canyons, a perfect hiding place for the raiders. Finally, they found signs of the enemy. Broken drones, burnt-out vehicles, and strange footprints led into a narrow canyon. Ethan stopped. "This is it," he said. "Their base must be up ahead. We need to be careful." Sival led them down the canyon. The walls were high and jagged, making it hard to see more than a few steps ahead. Strange sounds echoed from deep inside metal, clanging, machines running, voices in a language Sival did not understand. Kyle whispered, "Looks like they have been working on weapons here. I can see smoke from small furnaces and power lines running along the cliffs." Ethan nodded. "Good. That means they are building more than just a small raiding group. We need to stop them before they get stronger." They moved quietly, hiding behind rocks and boulders when they saw patrols. Olivia stayed close, ready to help anyone injured. Sival pointed out hidden traps, and Kyle disarmed them carefully with his tools. Every step forward was tense. One wrong move could alert the raiders and lead to a fight they might not survive. Finally, they reached a plateau overlooking the main raider base. It was bigger than anyone expected. Buildings made of metal scraps and reinforced plating were scattered across the area. Small raider ships sat ready for flight. Soldiers moved in and out of the buildings, carrying weapons and equipment. Ethan lowered himself to the ground, looking at the base. "This is worse than I thought," he said. "They have more soldiers than the last attack. But we can do this. We just need a plan." Kyle studied the layout. "We can use their walls against them. Some of these structures are weak. I can set charges to collapse parts of it. That will distract them and give us an advantage." Laura pointed to the shuttle. "I can fly in low and drop supplies or create noise to confuse them." "We need speed and surprise," Olivia nodded. "I will be ready for any injured. But I hope we don't get caught in heavy fighting." Saval watched the humans prepare. "You really are different," she said softly. "Other species would run from this. But you face it head-on." "Saval," Ethan looked at her. "We face danger because it matters. Your people matter. We cannot let them be destroyed." Night fell slowly, and shadows covered the base. The humans and Saval moved closer, using darkness to hide their approach. They placed small explosives, set sensors, and planned where to strike first. Kyle worked with careful precision, making sure nothing would go wrong. Olivia checked their supplies one last time. Laura hovered above, watching for enemy movements. Ethan led them, calm and focused, ready for anything. Suddenly, a patrol passed near their position. They froze, holding their breath as the raiders moved by without noticing them. Once the danger passed, Ethan whispered, "This is it. We move in carefully. We cannot fail." The group entered the canyon quietly, creeping toward the base. Each step was tense. The raiders did not know the humans were coming. Saval could not help but feel nervous. She had seen humans fight before, but now she saw them plan and move with skill and intelligence. Their courage gave her hope. They reached the edge of the base, hidden behind a pile of metal crates. Kyle pointed to a weak wall section. "Here, I can break this section and create an opening. It will confuse them." Ethan nodded. "Do it. Once the wall collapses, we strike fast. We need to gather information and return before they call reinforcements." Kyle set the charges. They counted down silently. When the wall collapsed, the raiders inside were startled. Ethan and the others moved quickly, slipping past them while the confusion lasted. Laura used the shuttle to create a loud noise, drawing more attention away from their path. Olivia stayed ready, watching for anyone hurt in the chaos. They reached the main building, finding documents, weapon schematics, and communication devices. Kyle quickly collected what he could, understanding how the raiders were being supplied and where their next attacks might be. Saval looked at the documents in awe. The humans moved with speed and intelligence, taking everything they could without being caught. Finally, Ethan signaled it was time to leave. They retraced their steps, slipping back through the canyon. The raiders were still confused, unable to follow their trail. Laura piloted the shuttle to lift them over difficult terrain, and soon they were back at the safety of the outer colony hills. Marivan and the other Leorans waited anxiously. When the humans returned, everyone was relieved. Ethan handed the documents to Marivan. "We have what we need," he said. "We know their next moves and their strength. You will have time to prepare. They will not surprise you again." Saval felt her admiration for the humans grow. They were not only strong and brave, they were clever, precise, and completely dedicated to helping others. The Leorans realized that these humans were unlike any other beings in the galaxy. Marivan smiled, a rare feeling of hope in his heart. "You have done more than I could have imagined," he said. "With you here, we may survive what is coming next." Ethan nodded. "This is only the beginning. We will fight with you, and we will protect your people. You are not alone anymore." As the humans rested that night, preparing for the next challenge, Saval thought about the stories she had heard about Earth. She now understood why humans were feared. and why they were respected. They were different, and their presence on Leora 7 would change the fate of the colony forever. The stars shone above, and the humans looked out at the horizon. Somewhere in the distance, the raiders would plan their next move. But the humans and the Leorans were ready. Together, they were stronger than any enemy could imagine. The colony, still damaged and weary, felt hope again. The humans had shown them that survival was possible, that courage and determination could turn the tide, and that when Earth's Deathworlders came, they could bring hope where no one else dared to go. The sun rose over Leora 7, casting light on the broken streets and smoking ruins. The colony had survived the first attack, but the threat was far from over. Merivin walked through the streets, speaking to the remaining soldiers and civilians. Everyone was nervous. The raiders would not stay hidden for long, and they would return stronger. Ethan and his team prepared for the next stage. They had gathered information about the raiders' main base, and it was time to strike. Laura checked the shuttle, making sure it was ready for reconnaissance and quick escapes. Kyle packed explosives and tools for traps. Olivia gathered first aid supplies, anticipating injuries in the coming battle. Ethan called the group together. "We know where they are," he said. "We have seen their strength, but we also know their weaknesses. Today we will test them. We fight to protect this colony. We fight to save lives. And we do not fight alone." Saval stood beside them, determined. "I will fight with you," she said. "I will help my home." The humans moved out with confidence, their steps fast and precise. They avoided open terrain, using cliffs and ruins for cover. The raiders had patrols everywhere, but the humans were careful, moving silently and swiftly. Saval followed closely, amazed by their focus and control. As they approached the raider landing zone, signs of destruction became clear. Burned vehicles, broken drones, and abandoned equipment littered the ground. Kyle examined them quickly. "They are stronger than I thought," he said. "But they are careless. They leave patterns. We can use that." Ethan nodded. "We will use their mistakes against them. Watch the terrain. Stay quiet. And follow my lead." Suddenly, the raiders appeared. They moved in armored suits, carrying energy rifles. Drones hovered above, scanning for movement. The humans paused, hiding behind boulders. Saval's heart pounded. This was the first time she had seen humans fight up close outside of training or small skirmishes. Ethan signaled, and the humans sprang into action. Kyle triggered small explosives from a distance, collapsing a section of rocks and creating a barrier between the raiders and the colony. Laura flew the shuttle low, dropping smoke and debris to confuse the drones. Olivia moved among the wounded, using her medical kit to patch up injuries as quickly as possible. The raiders fired, but the humans were fast. Ethan led a small counterattack, using the terrain to hide and strike from unexpected angles. Seville followed, using the skills she had learned from watching the humans. She moved quickly, helping block the raiders' path and guiding civilians away from danger. The battle was intense. Explosions shook the ground, and energy bolts tore through the air. Kyle used his gadgets to disable drones, while Laura flew overhead, guiding them through the safest paths. Ethan fought with a mix of strategy and instinct, surprising the raiders at every turn. Olivia worked tirelessly, her calm voice encouraging injured soldiers and citizens to keep moving. Saval watched in awe. The humans were not just strong, they were precise, smart, and fearless. They moved as a team, each person knowing what to do without hesitation. The raiders began to falter. Confused by the humans' unpredictable tactics, hours passed. The raiders tried to regroup, but the humans continued to push them back. Kyle set traps that slowed their advance. Laura created diversions, drawing attention away from key areas. Olivia kept everyone alive under fire, refusing to retreat even when it was dangerous. Ethan directed the fight, coordinating humans and Leorans with sharp commands. Finally, the raiders began to retreat. Their ships lifted off the ground, and soldiers ran toward escape points. The humans did not give chase. They stayed to secure the colony and help the survivors. Saval felt a mixture of relief and admiration. She had never seen such courage or skill. Marvin came forward, speaking to Ethan. You have done what no one else could. The raiders are gone for now. But this shows us why your people are called Deathworlders. You are unstoppable when you fight for others. Ethan shook his head. We are not unstoppable. We are determined. We do not give up when others are in danger. That is why we survive. That is why we fight. Saval thought about this. Humans were strange. They were strong, clever, and fearless. But most of all, they cared about others. That was why they were different. That was why they were feared and respected across the galaxy. The colony spent the rest of the day repairing damage. Humans and Leorons worked side by side. Kyle fixed broken walls and vehicles. Laura guided flying supplies. Olivia treated the wounded, and Ethan organized defenses. Saval helped wherever she could, learning from the humans as they worked. As night fell, the group gathered at the edge of the colony. The stars shone above. But the humans were already thinking ahead. They will come back, Ethan said. We have slowed them, but we need to prepare for the next attack. We need to strike at the source. Marvin nodded. What do you suggest? We need to find their main base, Ethan replied. We have information from the scouts and what we found near the canyon. If we can take out their supplies and weapons, we can stop them for good. Saval felt a thrill of anticipation. She had fought alongside the humans and survived. She had seen their courage, their strength, and their intelligence. Now she was ready for the next step. Ethan continued planning. Kyle, prepare explosives and gadgets for the raid. Laura, scout the base from above. Olivia, be ready for injuries. We move at first light. Oh. We move at first light. Oh. 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 The humans rested briefly, but their minds were active. Saval watched them, realizing that these people were unlike any she had ever known. They were relentless. They were fearless, and they were determined to protect others, no matter the cost. When the sun rose again, the humans and Saval moved out. They traveled quietly, using the terrain to hide their approach. The raider base was visible now, larger than anyone had expected. Ships, vehicles, and soldiers were everywhere. The humans paused, planning their move carefully. Ethan pointed to the base. We strike fast, we strike smart, and we leave no one behind. Remember your training and your instincts. We can do this. Kyle prepared the explosives, Laura positioned the shuttle, and Olivia checked her supplies one last time. Saval followed closely, feeling both fear and excitement. She had learned from the humans that courage was not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. They moved forward, slipping past patrols and traps. Kyle disabled security systems, creating safe paths. Laura created diversions with the shuttle, confusing the enemy and drawing their attention away. Ethan led the group through narrow corridors and open areas, using surprise and speed to their advantage. The raiders fired, but the humans were faster and smarter. Ethan's team moved like a single unit, each person knowing exactly what to do. Saval kept pace, amazed at their coordination. She had never seen anyone fight like this before. Finally, they reached the heart of the base. Kyle set charges to destroy key weapons and communication systems. Ethan led a small strike team to confront the raider commanders. The battle was fierce, but the humans and Saval moved with determination and skill. One by one, the raiders fell or fled, unable to resist the humans' relentless assault. When the fighting ended, the base was in ruins. Weapons and supplies were destroyed, and the remaining raiders had fled. The humans had won without losing a single Leoron civilian. Saval could hardly believe what she had witnessed. Humans were not just strong, they were unstoppable when protecting others. Ethan gathered the group. We did what we came to do, he said. We stopped them from attacking your colony again. You have a chance to rebuild and prepare. That is what matters. Marivan came forward, his face full of respect and gratitude. I cannot thank you enough. Your people, your courage, it is unlike anything I have seen. You saved my colony when no one else would come. Ethan shook his head. We did not come to be thanked. We came because it was right. Because you asked for help. That is enough. Saval smiled. She had learned so much from the humans. Their strength, intelligence, and courage were remarkable. But it was their willingness to protect others that made them truly extraordinary. She knew that with them on Leora 7, the colony had a chance to survive anything. As night fell, the humans rested briefly, keeping watch over the colony. The raiders might return, but the humans had shown that they were not afraid. The Leorans had hope again, and Saval realized that these humans were more than just survivors. They were protectors. The stars shone above, and the humans looked out at the horizon, ready for whatever came next. Leora 7 was safe for now, but the galaxy was vast and dangerous. The humans had proven that when they came, they could face anything and win. The colony, still battered and weary, felt hope for the first time in many days. The humans had fought with courage, skill, and determination. They had saved the colony from destruction, and Saval knew that their presence would change everything. The humans had arrived, and with them came strength, hope, and the promise that Leora 7 would not face the galaxy alone.